Welcome everyone, it's Paper Strigmar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. Now, I hope you're not scared. Now, I'm going to show you my Dragon 22 team. We're going to see if we can get this prize. We're going to check per dragon attempt. Last time we were doing clan versus clan. I still show some of that. Unfortunately, only one of those videos did well, but this we're doing something a little bit different. And I still have more raid to post, but raid's not doing any views, so I might have to resort to something else like Breath of the Wild or Elder Scrolls Online, but I can do both. I'm multi-talented like that. But this is going into the vein of my Argonian obsession, lizard obsession, and you'll see why once after, of course, the Dracomorph's involved, but and the Venomage, but that's besides the point. There is also another important thing I'm doing, specifically involving this, and you'll see why. Granted, the dragon is also technically a large lizard, so you could count the dragon in. This is my new Dragon 22 squad. Keeping that heal reduction on really keeps it clean, as it stops the apothecaries from perma-healing, which is very nice. See, they can't heal, so that dramatically reduces their ability to sustain, which is the #1 threat when you're against an apothecary, is sustain. It just is. And that's where Venomage comes in. Cuts the sustain right at the source. So here, this first round of poison didn't work, but the second round will most likely do it. Yeah, get some poison. Get the decreased defense and weaken. Now I can do Dragon 20, but Dragon 22 is like a buffed version and's got better odds. This one's got almighty strength, though it doesn't, unfortunately, die as quickly. It also does more damage, which is not something I want, really. Not something I want, really. The poison isn't up yet. There we go, that's the poison. I still think we'll beat this, but it's a little messy. I'll take it. Does that give me it? Please, please tell me it gets me it. Please. There we go. Now. Let's see what we want to sell exactly. Flat stat, ew. That's a very nice piece. Probably going to put that on my Arbiter. Gotta weed out any substandard pieces. Attack flat stat gloves is pretty bad. Attack flat stat. I don't care what kind of gear it is after that. That gear can go away. That can go to heck. Yeah, we don't need that. Flat chest, no. Or that. Because in the end, I have to look for any pieces that are not congruent. I'll have to just stick with that. All right, well now comes the scary bit, right? We gotta decide who needs the investment. Well, first off, Painkeeper. Painkeeper needs it, unfortunately. But she has some nice pieces on. Not all of these are worth a 16, but a lot of them are. And Painkeeper has a lot of uses. So. Because of that, Painkeeper is a good use. Her. That's not the best boot. This is far superior on any character. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to sell again. Just because. Let's see, what do I want to sell? Let's just sell that. Who needs that stuff? Gotta be ruthless sometime. Filter. Sell. There's a reason for doing this. because I need the thing. There we go. Boom. Exactly what we wanted, right? Dungeon divers and that. I'll take it. So now, this is where things get interesting. Now you might ask, what about this whole situation is interesting? Well, you see, we put these two in this equation, right? And then we got these two more. Our fusion is nigh... Because, you see, there is a lizard I want. And, I have a lizard obsession. So, that's where these guys are going. Towards my lizard obsession. That's where the Margaves are going. In the end, that's where they're going, so... If you're at all curious, that's where they're going. As we blast our way through the Skinwalkers. I mean, the Bannerlords. My brain is fried today. Ugh, can you tell? Can you tell? See if we can fully ascend them, because that's what we need to do. And then rank them up and get them all to 40. That's the process of this fusion. Emotionless Rampage. What a title. 125k silver, not the worst thing on the planet. Alright, let's do some of this. And I do not like the look of this at all. Please. Oh. Okay, good. I didn't need it to have more sustain. I'm always afraid whenever I see a champ like that it's going to have an unreal amount of sustain and then I'm just going to get owned from the sustain of it. As you'd be surprised how many champs in this game have sustain. Slow Kymar. I'll take it. Oh no. It's stinking. I should have went for the poison into the nuke rather than the other way around. Because this is bad. It's what we like to call bad. This is bad. This is bad. Because he still has the potential to kill me here. 100%. Gonna throw all the poison on him. Just in case. The thing is, I'm in a pinch right now because I had to do so much last CVC to help. And despite this, I'm not at pace with this fusion to the point where I just want the Lizardman. That's all I want is the Lizardman. We can give this a shot, but I don't know if this is a good idea. At least El Hain can't do anything, but we still have this shenanigans, which is gonna stink. Okay, I didn't even know we had a revive. I should have went for the Pythion. Ugh. Okay, so they got 200k, but they lack speed. What is that damage? Okay, this champ actually smacks. Did not know that. Okay. At least I got the quest done. Thank the divines. And you know I play a lot of Elder Scrolls Online when I literally use the phrase, thank the divines. You know that. You don't even need to guess at that point. If you know anything about Elder Scrolls Online, you'll know how much I play it at this point when I usually use the phrase, thank the divines. That's how you know. Because I've got to level up these Margraves, I mean. I have to level these Margraves up and ascend them. Because the Margraves add up into something. I gotta start ascending all of them. So, start with this. Ascend. Ascend. And ascend. We're going to start ascending all of them because they are all for this fusion. That's what they're for. And then we got to make the fodder to feed them once they rank up. Because that's what the next process, the next stage of the process is. Right? That's how these fusions go. And that's why they stink to deal with. Because the only thing I want from this fusion is the epic. I don't want the rares. I don't want the legendary. I want the epic. I also want a 60 one of her, but that's going to be a byproduct if I can. And yes, I did have to spend roughly 10 million silver to get this done. Not no cap. Like literally, that's what I had to spend to get this done. Like I'm trying to like keep my silver semi intact, but it's proving to be very difficult. As my Margraves, I'm getting their name right, Margraves continue their assault through the campaign. Because the main deal here is to keep those Margraves going. Get them to 30. And then from there, they'll make their final transformation. As they fight their way through the catacombs towards their ultimate sacrifice. To make one lizard man. It's a good lizard man, but it's a lizard man. I want to add them to my collection of lizardmen. Because I have an obsession, as you all know, with the lizardmen. My brother Chris had obsession with the catmen. And I have an obsession with the Argonians, the lizardmen. It's also why whenever I see Argonians, it's like, it's the Argonians, guys! It's the Argonians! It's like, I have a thing for those. I'm weird in the mind like that. Speaking of weird in the mind, I don't know why I had to deal with the other problem yesterday. Not yesterday, it was today. It feels like it's yesterday. That's how long it's been. In fact, it probably is yesterday, technically. It's the longest day with the stinking... The one guy shows up just after CVC and becomes annoying. And it's like, really? Nah, I'm gonna do it once I get them to where I want them at. But at the same time, I'm trying to get a 60. That's my main objective here. Along with a 60 and a Lizard Epic. That's my main objective here. True, it's going to get me low on energy, but we always knew this was going to happen during CVC. Whether or not we win or lose, we knew this was going to happen. Because it takes a while to make a 60 Heiress, but I feel like if I could do that and get some masteries on her, it could be a quantum leap towards the final team, which I can probably show very soon. I just need some There's a lot of things I gotta do. I gotta do Breath of the Wild. Okay. Well, they take them out of that equation. And stick in the next recipients. You ask, what are these recipients? Well, if you will remember, yes. I think I'm going to feed Harrier to these guys, actually. Should I feed Harrier? Probably. Probably, because, you know, Harrier, nah, I'll leave him for the meme, but I'm not building him. Probably. There's no way I'm going to get him to 6-star. There's no way. However, Heiress, it's almost certain. Why? Because Heiress is crazy strong for a lot of powerful content, specifically for this thing, for the clan boss, which unfortunately is a priority of mine. Because I have not been doing a lot of clan boss building. And I want to try to build up that team that I saw. But then I also have to build the speeds for it, which is going to be a little bit tricky. Gonna do that. Gonna keep on hacking away at this. Because the thing is, one of the problems with doing that much for artifact enhancement is even when you get that much in artifact enhancement, there's a big problem, right? The problem with artifact enhancement at that level is that it makes it so that once you get the rares, if you have to level them, you have a number of choices to choose from. And one of these choices, as unpleasant as it is, I don't know how he got that off, but now we're in for an annoying time. Because, you see, when he puts the unkillable, it's not just an unkillable. It's unkillable plus something more. So that's why... Yes, but it's the end of CVC. It's the end of you playing a lot of Raid. Well, it would have been if they didn't put a Lizard Epic in the Fusion. If they didn't put a Lizard in here, I wouldn't care. But it's because they put a Lizard in here that I care. That's why. A Lizard that is slightly accessible. That is ultimately why. That's also why I'm using the 60 Heiress as a byproduct. That's why I'm trying to do it this way. Fight away for our own faction, for Heiress. Hopefully I can get these to 30 so then they can take their process. There's a Vergus. I'm pretty sure everyone's very familiar with what Vergus does by this point. He ally protects, heals, shields. He doesn't revive though. He also shields himself constantly, so he's very good against Scarab. And he's able to resist a lot. He's very highly resistant. And so that's what he does. So yeah. Gonna keep it up. But yeah, that's why I did the Dragon Tournament. I did the Dragon Tourney because I wanted to complete the Dungeon Divers event and the Artifact Enhancement event so that I could get a total of 4 Margraves. There's a reason for it. It's a reason I wanted the 4 Margraves. Now the fact that this guy got block revived isn't really, well, okay, this is not exactly what I wanted, but I mean, I guess he's a hero anyway, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Steel Skull is a hero of the faction wars, but we're gonna put the original setup in here. He's also can be a hero in Clan Boss. But I don't know why they just shoved that in my face. I had a specific setup here. Had a very specific setup. And the main reason I had this set up was I wanted to try to regain some of the silver lost during, because then I also have to, well, I don't have to, but I want to use the silver to get them to 40 and stuff, but I have to first get them all to 30. And then as a byproduct, I want to get her to 60. That's what I want. But even though she's receiving XP at the same rate as these Margraves, because it takes so much more XP to actually make her 60, you can do it virtually at the same time. Virtually. That is the crazy thing about actually getting a champ to 60. It takes a shocking amount of XP to actually get them there. And even more effort to get their masteries finished. Then Avenger procs. We need her at 60 anyway. You're like, why on earth would I need her at 60? Well, it's for the boss. The clan boss specifically. That's rare. To get a gauntlet that high is rare. That is rare. Just trying to get these Margraves through the Sacred Order. There we go. Can wallop the Sacred Order. Relative ease with this Bellower. That's why I use him, because he can get through Brutal very fast. That's generally what you want. I don't have an efficient Nightmare farmer, so I don't tend to go through Nightmare very much. It's possible to farm Nightmare for stuff, but you need a really strong, even stronger than Bellower, like Ethos, Leorius style thing. Draco's okay at farming campaign, but he's not for Nightmare. Or, well, maybe if you pair it perfectly and have him booked and stuff, but yeah. It's much better to have a solo farmer like Ethos or Leorius or Herndig, but I don't have that, so we're not going to do that yet. If one of those guys does show up, then great. But we don't have those right now. And then, of course, I have to gear them in 6-star them, blah, blah, blah. But if I do get one of those, then yes. Yes, I will do that. Like someone I know who can do it. Because there's a number. I just don't own any of them. Okay. All right. We're doing this on purpose. Nah, I don't need to keep him for the meme. We need to get that Lizardman more than I need memes for that. Yeah, no. We gotta be careful on who we keep. We don't need them. We don't need them. We don't need a Stitch Beast, and we don't need Harrier. We don't. Some champions you just don't need. And those are some of them. But we need this Lizard Fusion, and I am not skipping. I'll trade a Stitch Beast and a Harrier for a Lizard Fusion. Some of these I hesitate, but I still have a number of apothecaries. But I might be able to use them as a book for the other apothecaries. I know you're like, what? Yes, I have a lot of apothecaries. Like, a lot of them. It's actually overwhelming, to tell the truth. Especially on this account. an overwhelming amount of apothecaries. Most whales would pare it down to 1 or 2. But yeah. I mean, apothecary's that good that some whales would actually build them for certain things. That's how powerful apothecary is. Yep. Now you may ask, why am I not immediately dumping the elixirs on them? I want to try to... Now you may ask, why is this taking a while? Well, the truth of it is, you're not seeing the full picture of exactly what I'm doing. That's the truth. You're not seeing the full picture. I was farming Dragon's Lair far longer than this. Far longer. To get to this point. I'm just trying to reduce the amount of potions I'm using, and thus the silver cost for fusing the epic. Because I know I only really have one opportunity to get the epic, so let's make that opportunity count. Besides, most of my powerhouses are epics anyway. Some are rares, but rares, especially fusion rares, are usually not very good. There are exceptions, but I don't feel like these are the exceptions. Especially not when a Lizardman is on the line. I have a thing for the Lizardmen. Heiress I'm mainly doing for actual utility and stuff. Like, Heiress has a specific use in Clan Boss team. That's why I'm going for it. Well, I mean, they do have continuous heals. I'll give them that. But there are other champs with continuous heals, and I need them. I don't need 4 Margraves. I need a Lizardman. More Lizardmen. Let's do more Lizardman faction war stuff. That would be cool, you know? Make like a Lizardman poison team and then use it in a clan quest or something. That would be amazing. We are getting into that. That's the funny thing. That is the funny part. I like with the amount of extra turns she's getting, she's literally obliterated them, which is the Avenger passive. It's kind of maniacal. Kind of maniacal. The extra turn constantly. I'm gonna get the full tour again. Give these Margraves the full world tour if I can. Maybe not, but like it's mainly to help out Heiress and like to do 2 missions with one go and to try to recover some of my silver. Because it did cost me a lot of silver to get one of these guys. And I still probably need it for ascension purposes. I know she gives a lot of speed. It's only like a 2-turn cooldown. That was just enough. We're going to Godfrey's with the lizards. Yep. They may ask. What are you waiting for? I'm trying to get the full round of silver and XP from this. As much as it takes to get this lady to 60. And try to funnel some of that XP off into these other champions while I'm at it. Before I inevitably have to spend still more silver throwing potions on them. And we'll be continuing this in the next episode.